Well, actually, I got pushed into diving. I really wasn't intentionally a diver. I was a sailing instructor and liked sailing a lot and had chartered a boat with a friend in the Caribbean for a few weeks. But about 20 dives into it, we went to a place where giant turtles go to sleep. One of the turtles swam right up to me and looked at me with one eye and looked at me with the other eye. And it was just such an amazing experience for me. Right then, I started liking diving, and it completely changed the direction of where I was going with my life.
Bruce and I met locally on a dive boat.
She stepped onto the boat with her low-pressure 85s on her back.
Twin 85s.
Twin 85s on her back, and it was love at first sight. I sold a computer consulting firm with 50 employees, and so retired in 1996. And then still was going to have to do something else at some point, but I managed to stay retired for about 8 years.
We were about to get married, and I said, Bruce, you're going to have to start doing something again. And one day I said, well, you know, why don't you just make a competitive, you know, a Trimix dive computer?
Well, this actually started out by me starting to dive the other computer products that were on the market for technical diving, and I found them difficult to use, and I just thought I could do better.
Because within a couple of years of pretty intensive full-time work, he came out with our first product, which was a full Trimix dive computer. Called it the GF. You know, we were doing this all with what we could scrimp and save and put together.
At first it was in our spare bedroom, so for the first, I think 2 or 3 years, Shearwater was in 88 square feet.
And one of the things that we learned early on was that we had to be the crash test dummies for the product.
And when Lynn could no longer watch TV without seeing manufacturing equipment, we had to move out. And we moved into another bigger facility, grew out of that in about 8 months, and then moved to where we are now. Our typical diver, when we first started making computers, was doing decompression dives in the English Channel, running in a big current. He's got an hour decompression obligation. He cannot surface, coming up a line, poor visibility, dark, and he needs to change something on the computer. This is not a place where you should need a manual. This is not a place where you need to remember complex series of button pushes. The first button you push better be what you need at that moment.
So the menu structures will make smart choices based on the state.
And do it in as simple a way as possible. So the feature set was very limited and very easy to understand. So there were a few other things that I was looking at. The first thing was reliability.
High reliability is the most important thing.
But more than that, it's the caring about the quality on what we are putting out. We are painfully aware that people's lives depend on our products.
The reliability we're talking about is that you being able to book a trip a year in advance and know that the day of your computer is going to work. The other thing is that it had to be powerful.
You could say that our products are powerful in what they enable the diver to do.
The thing I personally find when I'm diving is that you don't want a lot of distractions from your dive computer. You just want to look at it, get the information you need, and go back to diving. And so that's the approach that we take.
What makes our computers powerful is where they enable you, the diver, to go.
How do you qualify powerful? As it comes to us, you know, cell phones, they have 8 quad-core processors that run at 2.4 gigahertz or whatever, and there's a lot of computing power there. We actually go completely the opposite direction. Powerful for us is having a bright, easy-to-read display that lasts for a really long time.
By powerful, I mean it had to be able to do whatever you're doing on your dive. And whether you're an open circuit Trimix diver where you're switching between various different gases with Trimix gas and oxygen, some sort of nitrox gas, it needed to be able to do all those things. Or if you're on a closed circuit rebreather, you would be able to manage your oxygen and change partial pressure set points, still manage your decompression, and of course, manage your decompression when you're switching from a closed circuit rebreather to open circuit in the middle of the dive, which would happen if you had to bail out. So there's a lot of complexity there in the features, and that's where the power needed to be.
I get excited because this was a guy who's passionate about diving, who realized that, hey, this isn't a gap in the marketplace where I can make money. This is a gap of a product that this industry needs, that I need, I want, and no one else has built it, so I'm going to go and build it. And I'll probably sell a few to my friends, and that will be the end of it. This was always about making a product that divers need. And that's all it's ever been about, is what do divers need? They need something that's powerful, simple, reliable, and will do the job. That's it.
And it completely changed the direction of where I was going with my life.